Hello everyone, am I audible?
Yes, madam.
Okay, we'll wait for a few more minutes and then we will begin our session.
Ma'am, both week we will cover or only 1 week we will cover?
This is only for the first week. Yeah. Good afternoon everyone.
Good afternoon.
Still people are joining. We'll just see for 2 or 3 minutes more and then we will start. Okay, shall we begin?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Yeah, so I am Kaulini. I am a PhD research scholar in IIT Madras. So I'll be your TA for this course, E-Waste Management course for this semester. There's one more session on Monday, so you can join in that as well. It's up to you, like this session or that or both. You can attend both. Anything is fine. I will brief you about the week 1 content, and then I'll make you go through some practice assignment questions, and after that you can, whatever doubts you are having, you may ask. In case if I am not able to answer, I will get back to you by the next session. Is that okay?
Yes, madam.
Okay. In between, if you have anything, you can stop me while I am presenting. I'll share my screen. Yeah. Is the presentation visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, madam.
Yeah, I welcome you all to this course, Electronic Waste Management Issues and Challenges. So as part of week 1 session, I will cover only the week 1 content this week, and the following week 2, and so on. So once you finish the week 4 content, the following week we will have a session on the week 4 content. Okay. So in this week 1 content, the following topics have been covered by the professor. Briefly, it is what is e-waste and what are the various classifications of e-waste, and how do we manage it, why is it important to manage, and various statistics related to the waste generation in India and other countries, and just give me a minute. Okay. Yeah, and why is it important to recycle the e-waste, and what are the economic aspects of it, and the various health hazards related to the e-waste and its improper disposal have been discussed in this week 1 content. So to briefly go about these topics, what is e-waste? Can anyone tell me what is e-waste and how is it different from the regular solid waste?
Ma'am, e-waste formal definition is not there. It is country-wise, like US has different, then Canada has different, then South Africa has different. So as far as I know, e-waste is if any electronic or electrical equipment which is not in use as per its voltage, like so suppose 1000 volt for DC and 1500 for AC. That is also one of the criteria.
Yeah.
So a formal definition is not there, but anything which is not used, which is electronic or electrical, that can be classified as e-waste.
Yeah, so correct. So anything which has a circuit or electrical component, it's an e-waste in general. So in order to prepare these electronics and other equipment, many chemicals and metals are used in this process. So these chemicals and metals will harm the environment. And e-waste has many components in it, like metals, chemicals, acids. Sorry for that. Yeah, we will continue.
So ma'am, for India, is there any definition like Indian government?
Indian government, that's what, whatever has an electric circuit, it's an e-waste. If you see at the videos also, professor was explaining even the small shoes which the kids wear that has light or some sound coming out of it, that has a small circuit board, even that is an e-waste. So in India, it's like anything which has a circuit and electronic component in it, it's an e-waste. And as we can see, e-waste will vary with its manufacture, then age and its origin. It is a mixture of various metals in which mainly copper, aluminium and steel are used. And also these are very precious metals which are mined from the earth. So we have to be very careful while using them, and it's better to recycle all these metals. Even though the very minute percentages are used in this, it's better to recover all that and reuse them for making other products.
Mr. Ram Prasad, please mute your voice. Please mute your device.
Yes, sir.
So the e-waste is very heterogeneous. Unlike municipal solid waste, at least it has a similar content always, but e-waste it's not like that. And coming to the composition of e-waste, it has 36% of ferrous metals and 19% of non-ferrous, 23% of plastics and 15% of glass. As I said earlier, we can have many classifications of e-waste ranging from large household appliances to small consumer electronics, and we can categorize them into temperature exchange equipments or screens, monitors or lamps such as LED lamps, etc. And large and small household appliances, consumer electronics, IT equipment such as computers, laptops, etc. and other electronic and electrical tools such as drillers. So it depends, each country and our mindset also varies in how we classify the e-waste. So why do we have to manage or recycle this e-waste? Why is it important? Can anyone explain why is it important to manage the e-waste in a proper manner?
Ma'am, because some of the precious metals and some of the rare metals, they are there. So they are very less in earth also. So it is always better to, if we can recycle them, that is what one of the major reasons to, and secondly to save the environment. So that is why this e-waste management is the better option.
Yeah. So e-waste comes along with many environmental and health hazards, as explained by the professor also in the lecture videos. He has listed a range of health hazards related to each metal that is used in the making of these electronic components. And incineration and any other kind of disposal strategy also will emit lot of dioxins and furans into the environment, which are very harmful. And the cadmium from one mobile phone is itself enough to pollute around 600 meter cube of water, which is very huge. So this has a very high impact on the health and environment. And very minute percentage is recycled now, and only now I think people are getting that awareness of managing these e-waste and other waste also in a better way. Coming to the facts and figures with respect to India, we have Delhi as the highest per capita e-waste generating state, whereas the lowest is the Bihar. And India is the fifth biggest producer of e-waste in the world, which is discarding nearly 1.7 million tons of electronic and electrical equipment in 2014. So this is huge, like 1.7 million tons of waste. So we need to deal with this waste, and just dumping this waste in some dumping yard or in a landfill will not work, because lot of as one of you said, many precious metals are hidden in this. So they will eventually leach out into the soil and gradually to the enter into the waterways and environment, and ultimately the humans. So if we see this statistical chart, the per capita waste generation also depends on the population of the country. Even though the waste generation is high and the population is also more, so when we divide, the waste generation per person becomes less. Are you all able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So if we look at this graph, India is very low because we have a very high population and high waste generation. So per capita has become low, whereas China, then Singapore and other countries where the population is less and the waste generation is more, then you have a higher per capita waste generation. And how do we estimate the quantity of the e-waste? We have 4 different methods of estimation.
Ma'am, why per capita is important?
That will only enable you to decide how big your e-waste management facility should be. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So whenever you want to manage some waste, you will build a facility. So to build a facility, you have to know how much waste is generated. So for this estimation, we have 4 different methods, that is disposal related, time series analysis, factor models and input output analysis, out of which time series analysis is the most used ones, and Kolkata case study has also been explained in the lecture videos.
Ma'am, can you explain this small one line for each estimations?
Okay. Disposal related analysis means how much are we disposing it into the environment or any other facility, or for example into some treatment facilities or into the landfills or any other, the waste recyclers, the kabadi walas who collect all these things, the amount of waste with them. So we analyze how much of e-waste is there at each of these points, and then we calculate. And then time series analysis is you take the past data of the waste generation and then you extrapolate and predict it for the future. And then coming to the factor models, it depends on the lifestyle of the community, the income level of the people. Such all those related factors will be taken into account and then analyzed. This is a bit more complex because of the heterogeneity of the data and the complexity of the data, because the lifestyle of the people and other things will not be same at all the time. So it's a kind of a complex model. So that's why it is the least used method. And then input output analysis is how much we are manufacturing and how many are getting disposed. For example, we are manufacturing around 100 mobile phones. Out of that, how much is coming into the waste? So that's how it's a kind of mass balance. So that is how the input and output analysis is done.
So which is most used, ma'am?
Most used is time series analysis, because past data you have historical data, so that you will be using and extrapolating to predict the future trends. Disposal and input output analysis also you can use, but it depends on lot of data. Again, we cannot completely track how much is going to a dump site, how much is going to a recycler. That's a little difficult task. Coming to the economic assessment of the e-waste, as one of you said, there are many rare earth materials and minerals present in this e-waste, which makes it very valuable. Though the percentage is very minimum, like 0.04 or something very minimum, not even 1% of it, but in such a huge quantity, collecting 1% of each metal also will be very valuable. So this will allow us to recover the precious metals and also reduce the burden on the mother earth, and the mining activities also can be reduced by proper management of this e-waste. So by this we have a reduced environmental impact and better waste management, and human health will also be better. Okay. Now I'll make you go through the practice assignment questions. So I will ask the question and you can tell me the answer, and then we can see the right answer. discarded smoke detector falls in which category of the e-waste? Can someone answer?
A, ma'am, A.
Okay, any other? Anyone else?
D, ma'am.
D, ma'am, D.
Okay, yeah, the right answer is D. Smoke detector is a monitoring equipment. Okay, so it comes under monitoring and control equipment. Okay, we go to the next question. Which of the following material contributes most in e-waste composition?
Plastic, ma'am, C.
Okay, others?
Option A, ma'am.
Yes, it is ferrous metals. Plastic is only around 23% and ferrous I think it's around 36. According to the report, the e-waste in India, which category of e-waste contributes glass as the major fraction of e-waste composition?
B, ma'am.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, we'll see the answer. It is in lamps. Everywhere the lamps are in glass, right? In other things, the usage of glass is coming down and plastic is more. So the next question is, what is the percentage contribution of large household appliances in e-waste in Indian scenario with reference to the MAIT 2013 report? Any answers?
34.
42.
42.
You can go through the course material, it is there in that.
Yes.
Yeah. Which of the following states in India is the least e-waste producer according to the science reporter among the states reported? Sorry, I have shown the answer. Anyways.
One doubt, ma'am. Is this per capita or is it per state?
Per state.
It does not take into account per capita.
No, among the states, which is the least producer?
So if the population is more, are we not giving a wrong figure?
Is it Madhya Pradesh? Because all the 10s you have shown, lowest one is Madhya Pradesh.
Yes.
Ma'am, if the population of a particular state is large, and I report that if the total e-waste generated in that particular state is bound to be more, let's say it's bound to be more, so are we not giving a wrong figure?
Per capita, yeah, it will be. It's always better to report the total waste generation in my opinion.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Out of the following states in India, which one generates the highest per capita e-waste according to the report?
A, ma'am, Delhi.
Delhi.
Yes. Which of the following components of e-waste can lead to beryllium exposure during handling? Yeah, it's in printed circuit boards. Which city in India produces the least amount of e-waste according to the report submitted in Rajya Sabha?
Nagpur, ma'am.
Yes. Which of the following pollutants causes this disease? It will be there in the health hazards table of the course content. If you see, for each metal, the hazards associated with it is given in a tabular form.
It is a more or less memory test, ma'am. We have to remember all these things.
The subject is like that. You have to understand, and then these are basic things which some we have to remember.
When you are doing PhD, that is for you it is a basic. But how to remember all these things? It is a memory test, what I said. Not little understanding, more of memory.
Yes, ma'am, I do agree because there are number of these your metals are there and number of your diseases are there. So how to remember those?
Okay, like you can remember the main ones, like important metal and the disease associated with it.
That man, please tell us which is important, which is main important disease.
Not about the disease, I'm telling about the metal. Maybe the metals which are used in more levels, or the frequently occurring metal in all the electronics. Okay, I'll give you the answer.
Lead, ma'am. Lead.
It's lithium. Okay, this I'm sure I think everyone can answer. Professor was stressing
Cadmium.
on this.
Cadmium, ma'am. This is cadmium.
Yes, yes. So you remember this, right? So something like that we need to figure out for each one. Which one of the following is the cause of environmental emission of polybrominated dioxins and furans?
It's B, ma'am.
Yes, it's the incineration. So incomplete burning of these materials will emit these dangerous dioxins and furans. Which of the following e-waste estimation method requires empirical data from parallel disposal stream? The answer is there in the question itself.
Disposal.
Yes. Yeah, so this americium is the major chemical element present at the end of life of which of the elements, which of the electrical equipment?
It's D, ma'am.
A.
Smoke detector.
Yeah, it is smoke detector. Cadmium is found in which of the following electronic items at the end of life?
A, ma'am.
Okay. It's actually all. It's present in all. This is again a memory question. Which country is the major per capita e-waste generator in Asian continent?
D, ma'am.
Qatar.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So this comes to the end of the practice assignment. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Ma'am,
Why?
now one practical question is, what is the quantity once we say it is a e-waste? So suppose if I am a very small industry and if I am on a small house, if I have only 5, what you say, 5 phones or very little e-waste. So can I say that I am a e-waste producer?
Can you repeat the question?
Ma'am, is there any minimum quantity by which we say this is the e-waste, like 100 kg, 50 kg, any minimum, what you say, criteria?
No.
Once we,
There's no minimum criteria like that.
or even a single phone we have to say it is a e-waste.
Yes. Even a small pen drive will also be an e-waste.
Ma'am, why are cars not included in the e-waste category? Vehicles.
Vehicles, yeah, they will be included, but they'll be into large. Maybe there's other. They deal with them in another way. In general, e-waste maybe from the domestic households is what is majorly looked at.
Okay.
So ma'am, any industry which is exempted from e-waste, what is the rules criteria?
Any industry as in general, any industry has to follow all the waste management rules, and they have to report to the respective pollution control boards in their states.
So there is no exemption in that.
No. In case if anyone is not able to talk, you can post your question in the chat box also.
Latest rule I believe is out into 2022 April.
Sorry?
Indian government latest rules are April 2022 out. I think it is not 2016.
Okay, the videos I think they are from 2017 or 18, so that's why maybe that thing is there. Is there any recent data available for e-waste from Indian context? That I need to check. Maybe on the PCB websites we may get. There's some e-waste management portal also is there. So if we look into that, maybe we can get some latest statistics. Everything you can just Google it. You can go to the either state pollution control boards or central pollution control board, and they maintain everything. So you get the air quality data, water quality data regularly. So definitely e-waste also will be there.
Madam, recently the government of India has declared their financial budget. In that budget, the electronics price were decreased. What do you think? The electronic waste will increase or decrease?
If the price is reduced, obviously I can expect an increase in the electronic waste because it becomes more affordable to each and everyone. So obviously, even we also whenever who is a more who prefers more gadgets and who likes gadgets. So obviously, whenever there's a new model of phone or laptop released in the market, they will purchase it, and the old one, even though it is working, they may discard it or just put it off. So in that case, instead of we throwing it away when it's still in a working condition, we can give it to our other friends or others who are in need of these. So obviously, if the prices are reduced, the affordability will be more, and waste generation also would be more.
Madam, I think rather than reducing price, the government of India should think about the management of e-waste.
Yes, not only e-waste, in general the waste management and wastewater treatment also could be very much improved in our Indian conditions.
Ma'am, one question was, week one, we were asked to do an estimation.
Okay.
And in that estimation, when I tried it, are the figures which were given of the previous years, are they correct, or did they use any other data? Because after the second column or third column, I was not able to get the right answers.
Okay. That
I posted a question also on that.
Okay, if you have posted in the discussion forum, I think the professor will answer it. I'm not really sure about the data in that because, frankly speaking, even I'm new to this course, so I'm learning along with you. So, and I seem to observe that the videos are a bit old videos; they are not the latest ones, and so yeah, so that gap may be the reason.
Is there anything like when we talk about solid waste management, we have certain thing called segregation.
Yes.
Is anything proposed at the household level?
For solid waste management?
No, for electronic waste management, e-waste.
No. As of now, I'm currently residing in Chennai, so as I see here, we have 3 bins. One for the wet waste, one for the dry waste, and the third one is called hazardous waste. So mostly here people still the segregation is not completely happening, but at least few people like us who know the in and out of the subject and its impact of not segregating the waste. I think those people are kind of okay. They are putting everything else into the hazardous waste that doesn't fall under wet or dry, like bulbs, batteries, everything. So now, for now, it is combinedly called as hazardous waste. That is what I have observed.
That means in Chennai government, so municipal corporation has done hazardous waste wherein we can put this e-waste. You want to say this, ma'am?
That's how it's happening. I can't say that government has declared it, but that's how it's happening. We have 3 bins, and the wet waste goes for the organics, dry waste goes for the plastics and other recyclables, and hazardous waste is usually used to dispose of these batteries and other items which have chemical content.
In fact, municipal corporation should have outlets wherein they can deposit, anyone can deposit e-waste in a central place. That is a good option.
Yeah, that's a good option, but I think that may take some time to get implemented. But there are informal recyclers, and if you see, even if you search in the Google also, you will find many recycling startups coming now, who are willing to take the waste from our house, and they will know how to manage the waste. So that's a informal way which is going on. So we can dispose of whatever the unwanted things we need, and they will go through a proper recycling channel, but in an informal way.
But presently, ma'am, some of the e-waste recyclers, they charge you for certain items. That is, if you want to dispose of certain items, they will charge you for it. And in certain cases, they do give you some amount of money.
Yes.
This was last when I dealt it in Himachal. This is what was conveyed to us, that to dispose certain items, you would have to pay money. And in certain cases, they would give you some amount of money.
Yes.
Based on the nature of the waste.
Yes. In India, like here, I have seen that we are only getting paid for giving them the waste, because it is of value to them. They know how to recycle and get money out of it.
True, ma'am.
So personally, when I discarded many of the items from my house, so I got money. So it's like the recycler said, nothing is waste in here. Everything can be converted to money. That's what he said.
Scrap is one of the most paying things in India. Scrap is a very lucrative business, I would say.
Yes. And many people are getting into it these days. Whereas I think in US and all, we have to pay money for the additional waste or the extra waste which we are generating.
Ma'am, actually the buyback policy is the best one. Say suppose if I have to purchase new mobile, so I will give my old, and then at least some money back should be there. That is the best option.
Yeah, that is called extended producer responsibility, EPR, where the company itself is responsible for its waste generation. For example,
So that is not That is not happening in India now.
No, very few. If you see some PET bottles recycling, what do you say, prototypes are coming up. I think very few, so only few industries have started it, and I think the government is also insisting for the EPR.
So ma'am, EPR will be covered, I think, subsequently in the last module, I think.
Maybe I'm not sure in this course, but as a part of waste management, EPR is a must.
So ma'am, every producer also and every consumer also has to register for EPR, no? That is what I know.
Yes, in waste generation, producer and consumer both have the equal right.
So this for the state board or central pollution board, they have to register themselves.
And I think the best is for in the battery management rules. Because when a producer has to produce a certain amount of batteries, he has to take back from the market this many amount of batteries.
Yes.
Like suppose he has to produce 100 batteries, I think the rule states that 70% of the batteries has to be taken back from the market. That is buyback. That is every time you buy, this is mostly in the case of large batteries, what I'm talking about, lead acid batteries. When the producer has to produce, say, X amount of lead acid battery, he has to receive back 70% of, say, those batteries. If this sort of system is adopted, that
will be really great if we can adopt that system.
Like in the case of Coke, if I remember, it was about 20-30 years ago in US, they had to take back so many amounts, say an X amount of plastic bottles. Based on that, they will be able to produce the rest of the amount. So that is one thing which could come.
Yes. And that's a better way to manage also, because the producer itself is responsible for the waste dealing, and the load on the municipality also will come down.
But as consumers also we have a responsibility, man.
Yes, to dispose of in the right place.
Instead of buying a mobile phone every year, I mean, you could extend the...
Yeah, that's why we need to attach something to the electronic, some emotional touch or a personal touch to it, so that people won't leave it.
But basically it is stated in waste generation that as your per capita, I mean your income increases, your waste generation also increases.
Yeah.
And some more practice question we require, ma'am. It is very less.
Okay. In the next session, I'll give you more.
So when is the next session, ma'am?
Next Saturday, same time.
And we will cover both first and second week or first week?
No, today is for first week. Next week it will be for the second week.
So ma'am, I request you please have some questions more, ma'am, for first week also.
Today?
Some practice questions. If you have today, we will do that. Otherwise, in next Saturday, we will discuss more, ma'am. More questions, practice questions.
Sure, next Saturday I'll get you more practice.
Because we don't have questions, no, readily available questions on internet.
Okay.
So we want to do practice, ma'am.
Sure, next week I'll do it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Madam, instead of Saturday, can we have the session on Sunday?
So actually the slot selection is already done, so I don't think so we can change anything in the slot.
Saturday same time? Saturday today?
Yeah, Saturday, every Saturday same time. For the coming next 3 weeks, it will be the same time. 3 to 5 on every Saturday.
Okay, thank you. So ma'am, 2 hours is more, ma'am. See, we have finished within half an hour.
Yeah, session is designed like that. It's up to us how much time we need to go.
So then if you can revise the slides, then at least in brains it will go again.
Okay, you want me to go through the slides once again?
Yes, ma'am, we'll quick, because we have a time, ma'am. We have 1.5 hours left.
Not to worry about the time. We can do that, no problem. And meanwhile, if you have any questions also, we can discuss. You want me to go through the PPT which I made or the course content?
Ma'am, whatever you made, let us revise that. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So since this is the week 1 of the subject and it's a very small 4-week course, in the first week we will have a brief introduction on what is e-waste and what are its compositions and how can we categorize the e-waste and various statistics related to India and other countries in the world, and why is it important to recycle the e-waste and why management of e-waste is important to us as well as the environment, and environmental and health hazards, human health hazards related to improper waste management of these electronic devices. And what are its various social impacts, and at the end we will also see at the economic assessment of the e-waste how precious the e-waste can be. So coming to what is e-waste, in general e-waste is anything that has a circuit or an electronic component to it. So e-waste comprises of a broad and growing range of electronic devices, which can range from large household equipment such as the refrigerators, air conditioners, and small devices such as cell phones, personal laptops, and other consumer electronics such even hair dryer or a small pen drive. So anything big to very small can be e-waste which has a electronic component. So with the presence of the very deadly chemicals and toxic substances in these electronic gadgets, the disposal of this waste will be challenging and it will be an environmental and health hazard if it is not managed properly. As I said, e-waste has many components in it, so it is very heterogeneous, and the main task of the e-waste management is how do we separate all these metals and recover each of them. So electronic waste varies considerably with its age, origin, and the manufacturer. It is defined as a mixture of various metals, particularly the copper, aluminium, and steel. So these precious metals, they have very wide applications in the manufacture of electronic appliances, and also if we are able to recover these metals, though in small quantities which are present in each electronic device, when we combine the huge quantity that is getting generated, we have a substantial amount of metal recovery which is happening. So it also serving as a contact materials due to their high chemical stability and their good conducting properties. Coming to the composition of the e-waste, around the highest percentage is for ferrous metals, which is around 36%, and non-ferrous metals 19%, plastics 23%. Nowadays most of the metal components have been replaced with plastic. That's why you can
Ma'am, excuse me.
Yeah.
Ma'am, this non-ferrous, what you said, these are the one in which we have all these precious metals, no?
Yeah, yes, but even iron and steel are also I don't say it is precious, but it is also good if we are able to recover that.
Madam, nowadays instead of iron, most of the components contain steel and aluminium.
And even plastic, they are replacing it with plastic also. That's why you see a rise in the plastic component. And glass is reducing, maybe because of its breakability and other things. Glass is reducing and plastic is increasing. Even metals are coming down. And we can categorize the e-waste into many components. For example, the temperature exchange equipments, screens, monitors, lamps such as the LED lamps and other compact fluorescent lamps. And also we can categorize them as large, small household appliances, consumer electronics, IT equipment and other electrical tools, etc. So we can have a broad classification and different classification of the e-waste. As we were discussing now, it is important to manage or recycle the e-waste. because of the various environmental health and health hazards associated with it. Landfilling of these wastes can lead to the leaching of the metals and other components present in it into the groundwater, into the soil. Then even from the groundwater, eventually it will end up in the surface waters, oceans and other waterways present in that area. And incineration of this e-waste will emit toxic fumes into the air, so it pollutes the air also. And some volatile components, if they are present, then even that also will contribute to the air pollution. So this will have a huge impact on the health and environment if we just dump the e-waste onto the soil. At least a secure landfill will be better than a dump site. But as of now, only around 4% of the e-waste that is produced is currently being recycled.
Madam, I have a question.
Yeah.
Most of the school-going children use and throw batteries for their science projects, and after the use they are disposed out in somewhere. There is no option rather than throwing in on the soil. Can there be another option for them?
First of all, there should be awareness from the school level or at the household level. As I said, maybe having different bins for each waste, or a specific collection person who will come and collect the waste which is gathered at one place. Maybe you can tell the school students to put all kinds of battery or other electronic items that they are using at one point of the school, something like a fire assembly point. You can make a bin or a fancy box so that children find it interesting to put things into that. And
Which type of battery he is talking about? Dry cell.
yeah, the normal batteries, small ones which are used in toys and other things.
1.5 volt and all.
Yeah.
So once they are consumed, I think they are converted into carbon. So when carbon is not so harmful for that land. Once they are consumed, only that tin sheet is there upper, okay, but they are converted into carbon inside.
Okay, but, yeah,
Sure.
but still we cannot just throw it on the road, no?
Yes, that is true, but the metal is there, no doubt. The metal portion is there, but inside, if you open that, I have opened that also, that is full of carbon.
Okay. Okay, but maybe
Madam,
to inculcate the good waste management practices in the school, because school children are the best age where you can inculcate all these good habits. So if you can make a fancy box or something which makes them interesting to put the things over there in that, and we weekly once or monthly once we can tell the municipality or some recycler to come and collect it from there.
Madam, I am also talking about the 9-volt batteries that are used in science projects.
Okay, anything it should be the same, no? Even a bigger battery, it should be the same. You can tell them not to just dispose it off on the road, but we can put up a box and tell them to put in that. Even if the small LED lights which they may be using for lighting up their projects or something like that. Is that okay?
No. Madam, I have a question. While deciding to decrease the price of electronics, haven't the government thought of the e-waste management?
Yes, it is a part. But that's what, no, everything is recycling is happening informally. But actually government has to take up something similar to municipal waste management.
In this budget, in this earliest budget, no money is assured for the e-waste management.
Yeah, so that's what, there's lack of awareness among most of them on how important the waste management is.
think the 1.2 volt, 5 volt cell and the 9 volt cell, what we were talking about, do contain other metals also. It is just not carbon. It has got the metal cover which has been given to it. Let's say it's of iron or whatever. But when you open the iron behind it, you will find, I think it is zinc or lead.
Okay.
One of the, I'm not very sure. I just forgot my science, my chemistry. But it does contain other chemicals and metals also. And naturally, anything in excess would be a polluted. So recycling is the best option for everything.
Yes. Okay, so how do you get this data of 600 meter cube of water? I'm not really sure about this calculation. I'll have a look and I'll get back to you. Mr. Suman.
This data is given in slide only.
Yeah, the
It is
data
not
is in the slide. There's no calculation, so I'll have just a quick check and then I'll come back to you by the next session.
Madam, I think the rechargeable batteries price should be reduced and one-time use batteries price should be increased.
Okay.
Because of this,
So your point is so that the usage will come down of one-time use batteries.
yes, madam.
We can try that.
Because of this, the reuse of the batteries will be done.
Yes.
But then the price will be used in charger and also always use and throw is cheaper than that. That is why the use and throw battery is always cheaper.
But this will increase the e-waste also.
One more thing, I think people's mindset also needs to be changed. People are used to that use and throw. Then you reusing the same thing again and again. So it should start from changing the mindset of the people and creating awareness.
But madam, in vehicles the batteries are rechargeable.
Yeah,
We
that's
can-
why vehicles are more costlier, right, than the normal petrol ones.
No, whenever you are doing any rechargeable, you need circuit, you need charger. So that means everywhere you have to carry that charger, special type of charger. So that is why for mobility and all, there are two options. Say suppose if you go to any village where charging point is not there. So that is why these mobile batteries are use and throw. That is the option. That is the science behind that.
Sir, but where there is a option, we can use rechargeable batteries also in cities like places.
Yes, in cities, you are right. But if you see India, 70% still they are in village, remote, traveling. So if you are traveling in train for 2 days, can you charge your battery? Like mobile battery, you have charger, but simple battery you cannot charge. So then the train should have a different charger for different battery. So these are all you have to think like that.
So, but in household uses, we use clock cells. In that cases, we can use rechargeable.
Yes,
cells.
there you can use. But the point is, for clocks and all, you need fixed discharge. So rechargeable battery over a period of time, their charging holding capacity will reduce, and then your clock will be slow. So that is why we cannot say everywhere we have to be very what is like small watches in your hand. You cannot put charger there. So as per application, yes, but charging facility should be there. If you see, none of the Indian government or any good company makes rechargeable cell. All are Chinese made, which will not last more than 5 months. So these are the issues. That is why it is not coming up.
And one more thing is, unless if you have a rechargeable one everywhere, people will stop buying the product, right? So their business will be affected. That is the industry's point of view. Even if you, that's why do we have all this advertisements, publicity, so that people are attracted to the new products, they get new ones. So they wantedly design the products in such a way so that they won't work more than a year or so.
See, I will give you one example. I have a 10 years old camera of Sony, good Sony camera, but I am not able to get it chargeable battery. Now my camera will be waste, okay, because I am not able to get that chargeable battery because that is not available.
Yeah, that's why. So you are bound to get a new one, new camera.
So now I have to purchase camera because of small battery of 9 volt.
Yeah, that's the business idea of the industries in general. They want you to buy more products, so they won't manufacture the products that are long lasting.
And it all comes back to the issue of your standard of living. As your standard of living goes up, you do not have time for recharging your battery. You don't want to recharge your battery because you have got enough of money. So you just buy a new battery, put it in, and throw out the old battery. The moment your income goes down, then you think of things like buying a rechargeable set. And until the mentality changes, it's like earlier when we were small, when we used to go to market in Chennai, I'm basically not in Chennai right now, in Chennai, we used to take a cloth bag.
Yes.
That is, when you buy a saree, you used to get a cloth bag. So
The
that
practice
cloth
is not
bag,
coming again.
so as your income increased, I mean, person would go put in a polythene and give it to you. So unless the mentality changes, and I don't think this is going to, we are going to only generate more waste.
Yes. So we can see the recent plastic ban also. So now people are expected to carry their own bags. Even the shopkeeper is not providing a bag unless and until you pay him something for the bag. So something similar should come up with the e-waste also. Okay. Any other questions or discussions?
We are not prepared this time, but next Saturday we will be prepared,
Okay.
and then we will ask you question. Secondly, ma'am, I again request you, we should have more question bank to discuss.
Sure. Next week I'll ensure there are more questions.
Thank you, ma'am.
And you can tell me, like, should we change the way of how the session goes, or is this fine?
No, ma'am, it is fine. First you revised what is the topic. We just few slides what today you got. Then we will discuss questions. That is the best one.
Okay, yeah, fine. Then I'll prepare a similar content for the week 2. We will summarize, and then we will go through the practice questions. And after that, we can have a doubt clearing session.
Yes, ma'am.
Madam, please see whether we can have session on Sunday morning, because I am not able to attend on Saturday.
All these what you said discussions, they will be stored in what
They'll
you
be
say.
recorded, yeah. You can have a look.
So you can
later
see that.
also.
Because once time is fixed, again, madam has no authority to change that time.
And one more thing, if one student asks for a change in time, then one more student will come up and say, no, put it on a Monday morning. So those issues also will rise. So once we are fixed with a slot, we have to maintain it. And in case you are not able to attend that, the NPTEL people will give you the YouTube link and all, so you can always go back and see it.
And you can give us questions also in a chat box, like PDF form or Word document, and we can try our own time if you have less time. Give us 50-60 questions so that we can struggle with that, Google it, again de-learn, and then go to the back to the slides. Like question bank, what we say.
Okay, I'll try to get that.
Solid waste management, lot of questions are there on internet, but there are no question bank or ready-made available questions on e-waste that I have searched.
Yes, yes.
Solid e-waste, you can have thousands of questions, but e-waste, the question bank is not there on internet. I don't know. I am not able to find that.
Because there's a very new subject even for the.
So that is why, ma'am, we are requesting you collect some questions and then post us. Or give that link. We will download and then we will do research. Then we will discuss. That is the best option of learning.
Okay. I'll try to get something in the next session so that from the third and fourth sessions we can have a better discussion.
Yes, ma'am.
One question, ma'am, just outside the discussion. What's the present research going on e-waste as you are researching?
I'm not researching on e-waste actually. My research topic is entirely different.
Okay.
So as a part of my teaching assistantship work, I have been allotted this subject, so I have to take. So in the next semester, maybe some other subject, so I have to take that subject.
Okay, ma'am.
How is e-waste managed in India?
As far as I have seen, there are many informal recyclers, not through government, but people who are willing to make money out of waste and converting waste to wealth and all that. As I said, there are many startups. So those are.
If you go to CPCB site, state-wise there are.
There will be some authorized waste recyclers also.
Those who are doing e-processing of e-waste. So if you're and they have license also, like they have 100 kg above, 500 kg above, what we are discussing. So that capacity they have. So with the capacity they have a license, and then they can process that, what you say, that e-waste.
Yes,
so CPCB site you can visit and then you can see that.
It has authorized a waste recyclers list.
Madam, what do you think the unemployment can decrease by the e-waste management?
Yes. In a kind, like if you want to manage the waste, just give me a minute. Yeah, sorry for the interruption. Yeah, if we are able to come up with better waste management things and many startups, we can employ many other people. So yeah, unemployment can come down. Provided you have a good business, and you should have a very good supply chain management. That is, from where you are getting the waste, how you are recycling it, and who is your customer, who is taking the recycled waste. So if you don't have a waste source and the person who is willing to take up your waste, then there is no point in having this whole system. So you need to first identify who will be your sources, who will be giving your waste continuously, because once you have a facility, you need to have a continuous supply of the waste. And similarly, there should be someone who is willing to buy that.
Well, nowadays many of the engineers are passing out from IITs, NITs and other engineering institutes. Why don't they think of e-waste management startup?
One of this main reasons is this only, because they don't have a constant source from where they can get the waste, or they don't find a good market once it is recycled or the waste is processed into a new thing, or upcycled or downcycled or recycled. So they don't find a perfect customer for that, or they don't have a continuous waste source that will keep them high.
Prathamesh, sorry I am interrupting. What you are doing, my dear friend?
Sir, I am a diploma student.
So, okay, you have a good idea. You can do that startup.
Yes, sir. Sir, but somewhere government should help also.
Yes, yes. You approach Mighty, okay? That Government of India Mighty, they will definitely help you. Okay, this is a good idea to do that.
But before that, you need to identify who will be buying your waste from you, and how will you get a constant source of the waste? Because e-waste is not generally generated on a daily basis. If you look at a household, on a daily basis, you may not have e-waste.
But madam, in mobile shoppings, there are many mobiles that are discarded and that are stored for many years.
Yeah, that's what you need to identify the source first, from where you will be getting the e-waste. So once that is there, you feel like there's a constant source. Okay, this is my source of waste. I'll have my facility running for so many years with this amount of waste, and then finally you need to have a customer also who will buy. Once you recycle the metals or whatever the content that is present in the e-waste, there should be someone who will buy that from you, right? Only then you can make money.
See, you have to do advertisement like, okay, please give your e-waste here. Then all person will come and deposit their e-waste to you. And you have to give them money also, like 150 rupees for a smartphone, like old fridge 500 rupees. Then, okay, that type of supply chain you have to do.
Okay, sir.
Any other questions?
Madam, nowadays the prices of mobiles are decreasing, but with that the quality that was assured earlier is also decreasing. The mobiles are means what we say getting off their service too early.
Yeah. So there's more waste generation. That's what now, as soon as a new model comes up, we want to buy the new one.
No, madam, the quality of mobile is not remained that much as it remained in early years.
Because we are replacing all the metals into plastic and other simple materials, no? So obviously the quality also will come down. Okay, can we close it for the day, and we'll see more questions and content for the week next week?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, God.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.